Hi, fellow Australians. If you are seeing me now, it means I'm on holidays. Taking my place today will be the lead singer of Custard, David McCormack. For the sake of our children and our children's children, you must watch on. Fully grouse.
So exciting. Hello, welcome to Recovery. I'm guest hosting today, and on the show we have Frenzal Rhomb, Diana Arnade, Cordrazine, Baz Luhrmann, the marathon swimmer, Tammy Van Wisser, and first of all, Rebecca's Empire with a song off this record, The Way of All Things, Atomic Electric. Please make them welcome.
That's what I tell myself, oh, atomic electric. This feeling it comes and goes. Did you know you're in the colors of the sky? The air is written with your name. You're one in a million. Looking at you from this far away, yeah. Did you know you're standing out in the crowd? You're playing guitar really loud. How one in a million. That's what I tell myself, oh, there's something magnetic. It's pulling us into fray. Did you know you're standing out in the crowd? Playing guitar really loud.
Okay, thank you, Rebecca's Empire with Atomic Electric. And now Tam's going to tell us what's going on in the rest of the show. Tam?
Today we'll show you the history of Festival Hall. And Lee has a chat to some of the creators of Trainspotting. We'll also have clips today from Teenage Fan Club, Radiohead, Pulp, Fluke and Pearl Jam. But right now let me introduce you to today's house band. They're the Cokehead Hipsters. They're all the way from Japan and they're in Australia right now touring with the Voodoo Glow Skulls. This is their third album that they've just released. How Far Will You Go is what it's called. Please make welcome the Cokehead Hipsters.
Cokehead Hipsters. Sensational. That's the little piece of silicone CD stuff. Okay, and apparently there is a fax in your lyrics competition, and you can fax it in to a number that's going to appear here. There it is, like magic, as if by magic it's appeared. And what happens is you fax in lyrics and that's...
a pig going in the background there.
And you're faxing lyrics, and then they'll do a song using your poem at the end of the song. So that's going to be probably a lot better than I've made it out to be. Okay, and now there's a story on what people do who are normally very, very healthy and lead a very, very, very nice lifestyle. On a Saturday morning, they go rock climbing in Tasmania. So, bang.
My biggest fear is, well, falling. Like, I get really frightened about taking a big fall.
It's mostly vertical rock, fairly small holds. It's really grippy, frictional rock. It's kind of very cheese grater-like. If you take a big spill, it's quite easy to scrape off some flesh.
Coles Bay, I reckon this is the best climbing in Tassie. This is called Leap of Faith, 21. Too hard for me. I have to jump from there to there. You have so many different feelings when you do a climb. But when I first started that climb, it was, I can't do it. I just can't do it. You're just thinking about how you're going to stay on there. And you're always looking for little footholds or something to hang on to next.
It's just a challenge. There's always something harder that you can try. If you conquer something, you just go and try something harder. You need to be able to stay relaxed. You need to be able to concentrate and focus on what you're doing.
People have described climbing as being like dancing with the rock rather than fighting it. Often every fibre of your being is screaming out to tell you that you can't do it and you should just jump off or climb down. Climbing can be about finding a bit of grace in the middle of fear and confusion, physical difficulty.
Yeah, and it's adrenaline when you get up to the top of something and all fired up about it.
It's about finding out what your limits are and pushing through them. Going to places where maybe nobody's ever been before and most people don't even know why you want to go there. It's about doing something for yourself that involves maybe a bit of danger and risk. Climbing's about risking your life in order to save it.
Got a pretty laid-back lifestyle down here. I just spent a bit of time potting around in the garden and playing guitar and mowing out.
Okay, my good friend, the Enforcer, I'm new to this whole TV thing. It's completely confusing to me, so he's going to help me out with some moves and I don't know, what's that one? Something about flapping things and stuff. But yeah, chickwan. Chickwan, that's not chickwan. And so I need all the help I can get, Enforcer, so, you know, feel free to rip into whatever you want. Okay, but now, excitingly enough, Francis Leach from Triple J. Please make him welcome.
Whoa! Oh, nice intro. Oh, this is no fun, is it? It's great fun. How are you enjoying your first stab at telly?
It's no problem, absolutely no problem so far. Very excited. I've got to look down these things.
Look
though.
right down the barrel.
Right down, they said, right in here. So
That'll
there I
do
am.
it.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, a lot of stuff. In fact, the reason why I'm here today is because Jane is in Bega and Cooma this morning from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. both today and tomorrow. Unearthing that part of the world, southern New South Wales. Should be on air between 10 and 2. If you're in and around the area, in Merimbula at Spencer Park, that's where you'll find it today, by the lake.
I've been to Bega once.
Enjoy.
I don't remember anything of it. It was good though. Hello to all my friends in Bega.
Yeah, hello everyone in Bega. And get down to the lake and say hi to Jane. She'll be on air between 10 and 2. And sometime tomorrow afternoon, she'll be announcing our Bega Unearthed winners. Big last Creatures of the Spotlight for Sarah McDonald tomorrow. She's off to do the Triple J morning program next year, so she's going to do her last Creatures. So it'll be a highlights package of the best stuff from 1990.
Creatures.
The best Creatures of
And she's
97.
off to do morning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She's going to get serious current affairs into her. So, and she's going to introduce some Art Wanker who's going to do the program next year. Don't know who it is yet, but tune in tomorrow and find out who it might be. Art Wanker. Yeah, that's what it'll be. Live at the Wireless Monday night. Who went and saw Blur? Well, that was about as popular as
They're huge.
It was about as popular as a fart in a crowd.
I heard they were very good.
They were.
Yeah, did you see it?
I didn't. I was away, but if you missed it and you want to check it out, Monday night live at the Wireless at 8:30. That's where they'll be.
I might check that out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Glue
like
yourself
them.
to the radio. Two other big things, of course. Starbait is coming up in January, presented by Triple J and Recovery. And it's going to be big. Prodigy, Black Grape Regurgitator. Go absolutely ballistic. And I think a couple of new acts as well have been added to the bill.
Yes, I've got some information about new acts that have been
Over
added
to
to
you,
the...
Dave.
The Death in Vegas have been added to the Starbait bill, but they're only playing selected things of it.
So check
Bits and
you
pieces,
guys.
yeah.
And I think we're going to see a clip from a band who are also on the bill.
Yeah, you're helping me out here. This is great. The Crystal Method with a song called Busy Child from their album Vegas, who are on the Starbait bill. Thank you, Francis Leach from Triple J. Okay, already we have a fax here from someone called JS in Sydney has faxed in a song which it's got lots of words I don't understand in it, but the bit I like is called, please ignore spelling the song is called, which is quite nice. Jump on my camel and you can travel on my hump of love. I thought that was not too bad, that bit. And then the end bit is bubba 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 ganoush. There. So that's quite a good song that I'm going to probably steal for one of my songs at some point. Well, that's a bit lyrical. Starbait. We have 2 tickets to Starbait in your capital city to give away. This is a competition of some sort. And 2 hospitality passes. 1 full set of all the acts that are appearing on Starbait. We're giving away their CDs. And all you got to do is send a photo of yourself dressed as Keith from Prodigy and a letter saying what your mum thinks of you dressed as King from Prodigy, and she probably might be happy with that. I'm not really sure. Okay, now the Starbait competition. You send the entries to Recovery, ABC TV, GPO Box 9994, Melbourne 3001. And a Starbait thing that I've remembered of my own little brain here is that the venue for the Perth Starbait thing has changed to Bassadine Oval. So I'm patting myself on the back for remembering that. Good on you, Dave. You're doing fine. You've got a great memory. Okay, now, this is a story that I saw yesterday, and it's about a guy and there's a girl in it, and they're in Tasmania, and the guy and there's another guy, and they play guitar and they swap. And it's about just being free.
Tasmania is a pretty blessed island, a pretty blessed state. There's a lot to be said for it. Got a pretty laid-back lifestyle down here. I spent a bit of time potting around in the garden and playing guitar and just mellowing out. Do a lot of reading, a lot of chatting with my friends who I live with, and take it pretty easy, really. There's not really much else to do out in the country. I suppose like all the myths about like the country in Tasmania and Tasmania itself are true. It is a pretty like slow place. Not much happens, but it's what you really want, isn't it? Like if you want the fast pace and fucking high life of a city, then don't come to Tasmania. This is the garden jungle, slightly wild and unkempt, but a garden nonetheless. Silver beet, celery, broad beans, some onions there. It's a very rewarding experience. It's a completely different thing to going to the supermarket and buying your canned, tinned, pasteurised, homogenised produce. I suppose like that comes back to my decision, like when I was still in high school, of what I wanted out of life, you know, like I figured what most people wanted out of life was like happiness through material comfort and like financial satisfaction. But I realised pretty early on that like if I could be happy without those pretty trivial things, then I was going to be one step ahead. And like now I find myself in places like this. I might be on the dole, I might not have much money, but I've got fucking paradise as my backyard, you know. It's just what you want out of life, really. And the serenity, hey? Serenity is where it's at. I've lived in Tasmania on and off for years. It's been pretty much my base. Always return to it, and I reckon I always will. I plan on sort of being old in Tasmania at some point in my life after I've seen the rest of the world, but Tasmania is my home and my place, and I love it.
Oh, well, music was music then, you know. You got the words, you got the rhythm, you got the feel, and you got the love, and you got the companionship. But now all you get is yah, yah, yah. You'd think sex would just be invented the way they carry on.
Oakley dokley. Now we have Rebecca's Empire again on the show. This is Twice in One Morning with a song called Car Radio, which is brand new. Here they are, Empire de Rebecca.
Do you ever think of me?
Okay, Rebecca's Empire. Now I'm going to get the enforcer to go over and fetch that young lady for us while we go to this thing. This is my first ever interview on TV.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so it's good. Okay,
Excellent.
Rebecca,
Yes.
thanks for coming on my special show, the Dave McCormack Show.
That sounds good,
Yeah, it doesn't
doesn't
sound
it?
too
The
bad,
Dave
does it?
McCormack Show.
How do you think the interview's going so far? Not too bad?
Really well.
Yeah.
We're both
I've
wearing...
got to talk less about me, though, probably a little bit more about you.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm sick of myself.
This is your new thing here.
Yeah.
Oops. There it is, car radio, and you're giving it away for free and it's brand new.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any economic sense to me.
No, no.
I don't know much about being in a band, but I don't know even less about making money, and that doesn't sound right.
Well, we just, we haven't got a record deal at the moment. So it was like, get
okay.
something out for the summer and...
Give it away for free.
Yeah, give it... It's a Christmas present for all the loyal punters, you know, that have come
That's
out.
nice of you to do that.
Well, you know, we're nothing without you.
Punters, there's a small microphone closing in on you there.
I know.
So what's going on? You're going to do a new record or something?
Yeah, we're doing it now, and we're just about to start a 3-week tour. Prince of Wales tonight in Melbourne, next week in Sydney, the week after. It's sort of all along the east coast. And
You're doing an internet gig?
yeah, the gig tonight at the Prince of Wales is live on the net. The net doesn't really mean all that much to me, but I'm learning.
Yeah, you've got a really smart friend who's going to work all that out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I've thought about doing that, but it's just so complicated,
Aren't you
isn't it?
guys on the net?
Yeah, but not live. Worked out in advance and
Yeah.
written and then argued about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
this
that'll be
looks
good, though.
Yeah, it'll be great.
We'll go to the whole world.
I know. Isn't it bizarre?
Yeah, lots of things are
Next
just too
world.
scary.
I
There's just
know.
so many people looking at so few things. You know, like this
Yeah.
stuff. And you're going to be on the email-y thing later on too.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, Shane's doing that because I've done my duties today, I think.
Yeah.
This is the address. Can I do that?
Yeah, by all means.
This is the address tonight that you go click,
Go
click, click.
and see it. At what
Yeah.
time? 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, live, like on the
Wow.
dot.
I'm going to check that out. I'll be back in Brisbane
I
by
bet
then.
you will.
Oh, well, I'll be back in Brisbane.
You
so I
live
can...
in Brisbane?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you all know that?
Yeah, who knew I lived in Brisbane?
Isn't that amazing?
I live a pretty exciting life. Hey, oh, can't cross my arms.
You
Okay.
do. You write good songs.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
saying such nice things when I'm supposed to be the interviewer, and I'm supposed to be
trying to-
saying nice things
I'm
about.
trying to get
You
you
write really
gig.
good songs too.
Should we rub our radio mics together?
No, I'm not allowed to rub my radio mic anymore. I've already got in trouble. And so, you've had it? You're a mum.
Yes, I'm
Who
a
looks
mum.
after the young kitty when you're touring for 3 weeks around Australia
We've
or
got
something?
2 dogs, so it's just, you know, one's a Labrador, you know what they're like with kids. So
They're pretty
it's,
intelligent, aren't they?
Kids or Labradors.
Labradors?
Yeah, ours is a few snags short of the Barbie, I must say.
Oh,
no,
but I'm
she's
sure
all
he's
right.
got a very nice personality
No,
for
but
a dog.
incredibly good parents. I've got a fantastic mother. Hi, Mum. Hi, Hazza.
Hi, Hazza.
Yeah.
Hi, Rebecca's mum. Hi to my mum too. I never even thought of doing that.
Yeah.
Hi, Mum. How you going?
No.
I'm sure she's good.
Yeah.
She's probably not. Oh, it's an hour later in Brisbane.
Your dad probably wore a suit like that when you were born.
My dad was a big suit wearer.
Was he?
Yeah, he really was. He had some very nice suits, and he loves a cigarette as well, my dad. So
Ooh,
I said,
suits and cigarettes.
I don't smoke, but I long for the days when you could smoke on TV because it sort
It'd
of
be groovy, wouldn't
yeah,
it?
it sort of looked nice and black and white
Little
and stuff.
martini.
Yeah.
We're just chatting, really, aren't we?
I know, I'm sort of waiting for some sort of direction. There it is, there's the direction. Okay, thank you very much. Rebecca's Empire and the dogs. By Ian Sinclair. Remember Ian Sinclair? Our old politician friend. He's making dogs now. Okay, so I've spoken about the dogs, and now I'm going to say that this is a video by Faith No More, who are out here earlier this year off their album called Album of the Year, and it's called Strip Search. Thanks very much, Rebecca and the band.
All you got is this moment. 21st century is yesterday. You can care all you want.
Dylan would call it. The first site we've got today is the Theremin homepage, and I thought this one was appropriate, seeing as after John Spencer Blues Explosion's little effort a few weeks ago, about a month ago I think that was. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Did you enjoy it?
He rips stuff up.
I know.
He unplugged
destroyed
stuff.
Everything.
I like seeing people unplug things and destroy things.
I know.
And he did some nice work on the Theremin as well.
Yes, he did. And this is why we're doing this homepage right now. So you can find out all about the theremin. If you don't know what a theremin is, it is what the John Spencer Blues Explosion used, the thing that he used in and out with his hand. The Beach Boys used him quite a bit. And if you've got one, you can find out what sort it is. In this gallery here, they've got pictures and information about it. I think this one is one of Leon Theremin, the inventor, using the first theremin at Carnegie Hall. And you can find out what bands are currently using theremins, such as the John Spencer Blues Explosion and all these different bits. You can find out television and movie stuff, all the television and movie bits where they were used. You can get sound clips for it. You can get, you know, the posters and stuff there for those dodgy sci-fi films. And you can find out how they work and how they're made as well.
They're easy to make, apparently.
Yes,
I haven't made one, but yeah, they're easy to make.
There's ones on there with...
there's a good film about him too. The Theremin, and he was a political prisoner and everything. It's a very true story until he invented some sort of bugging device.
Well,
and
you
then
can probably find out all that stuff on the internet site. Or maybe it's just a rumour.
No, I've heard some rumours this morning, but this isn't a rumour.
Okay, well, no more rumours. We've got the Lunatic Lounge right now. It's just one of those stupid sound pages which persist in popping up in this segment. This time it's stupid human noises. It's actually quite a non-eventful page, but there's good graphics and great sound, but not much else. You might wonder why I'm reviewing it. Well, unfortunately, there is something novel in sitting in front of a computer and hearing sounds like a vomit splash and then a midget's battle cry like that one there. Yep. Nasal flatulence. They've even got nasal flatulence and a lower octave burp and heaps more. Simply senseless, and that's the lower octave burp, yes, which lots of people can do. So if you're into stupid noises, and have a look at this site. And the most eventful thing about this site is that they email you when they get new sounds in. Wow. That's it. There's not much to it, so go and have a look at it if you like dumb noises. Now, H.R. Geiger was a Swiss surrealist artist. He was a sculptor, an architect and a designer, and he did lots of things. You might have seen his work. In fact, I'm sure you would have seen some of his work. He's done covers for Blondie and the Dead Kennedys. He's also done a lot of sets and designs for movies. The most famous one you'd probably recognise is Aliens, and he made that face hugger thing that attacks a few of them. And if you remember that long, ugly, the long-necked, ugly thing where it had two sets of jaws, he did that as well. So if you're into this sort of extreme and kind of a bit warped art and sculpture and what have you, then have a look at this site because there's heaps of stuff to actually look at here. There's the movie props, heaps of movie props. There's a face hugger. Yeah, that was scary. And this is just some of the other things that he's shown. He didn't actually make those, but that's sort of some of the stuff that he gets into, so he's done a display of that. He's also done computer games, so you can have a look at those, and lots and lots of other stuff. So if you're into H.R. Geiger, the Swiss surrealist, then go and have a look at that site. It's a goodie. Another good site is a Recovery Internet site. So you can go there and you can win lots and lots of stuff as usual, but please do something interesting or creative. Write us a paragraph of something so that we have an excuse to give you a CD. The CDs that you can win this week are 10 Cordrazine, 10 Diana Arnade, 10 Cokehead Hipsters. We've got 10 signed Rebecca's Empire car radio singles, and something interesting happening there.
There's some
we'll find out in a minute, I think. And 10 Frenzal ROM. So do something interesting, and you can find the links for all the sites that I've done on the Recovery Internet address. Now, do you have something interesting there to tell us?
You're half right. I have something here to tell you. A cucumber is 96% water.
Oh, my God.
Thank you very much, the Enforcer.
Thank you.
And the hole through which strange things appear.
I think we'll be hearing from that a bit more today.
That wasn't so much strange, it's just informative.
And pointless.
Yes.
Yeah, slightly pointless. All right, the Loud internet site, I have to tell you about that. It's at www.loud.net.au, and they're running a competition for a web design web page design competition. You can create your own website if you're between the ages of 12 and 25. You can enter your homepage. You can work in a group, or you can do it by yourself. There's heaps and heaps of prizes to be won. There's computers, modems, internet time. There's like digital cameras, heaps of really quite expensive prizes to win. There's 4 categories, but go to their internet site. It's www.loud.net.au and find out more information about that. Also, all today, you can hop onto our internet site and find links and bits to get to the place where you can talk to some of the bands that are playing on today's show. But right now, we've got something from Scottish pop band Teenage Fanclub. They'll be playing in 2 weeks' time, our last show for this year, our last live show for this year, on the 13th of December. They've just released this album here called Songs from Northern Britain. And here's a clip from Teenage Fanclub, Ain't That Enough?
Shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, now.
Our next guest has managed to write herself into the Guinness Book of Records, as well as completing 2 swims over the English Channel. She's won 12 consecutive Ironwomen titles, and she's just recently won the race around Manhattan Island. So could you please make welcome Tammy Van Wisser. How are you?
I'm a bit exhausted after that long walk down the stairs.
Yes, I know, they are long stairs. They're a bit scary as well because they're quite small. Now, first up, the Enforcer's been doing a few calculations, and he's worked out that in your lifetime, you have swum around the world 1.25 times.
I know, it's a lot, isn't it?
That is amazing.
I think it would have been easy to catch a boat, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you believe it when people tell you that?
Nah, sometimes I think, oh, no, I really haven't done those things, because it is, you don't think about it when you do it, so it's pretty crazy.
That's right. And I hear that the first marathon that you ever entered, you were actually challenged to do.
The first marathon I did was actually back in 1986, and it was from Beaumaris to Frankston in Port Phillip Bay. And I remember I'd never done anything further than 5 kilometres in a pool before, so 20 kilometres was like, my God, am I going to make it? But it was pretty rough, and after about 4 hours, 29 people started, 21 people had been pulled out because we had massive waves. And my dad sent a message out to me at that time, and he said to me, Tam, you're in 3rd position overall. There are 2 blokes in front of you, and you're catching them. So I thought, because I love catching guys, whether it's in or out of the water, so that made me go really fast.
That's good. And you won.
And I won. I was the first girl, yeah, but I didn't exactly catch the guys. I made up about 20 minutes on them, but didn't quite get them.
And what did the guys think that challenged you?
I guess they were pretty amazed. They didn't think I could go the distance, so yeah, I proved them wrong.
Yeah. And were you thinking seriously about competing in marathons after you'd won that race, or...?
Well, I did, because a lot of people came up to me and said that it was a really big sport overseas, and that you could do like these really fantastic races and swim in the Mediterranean and things like that. So I thought at that time that I'd like to have a go at it, so it was in my mind.
Yeah. And you didn't actually have any formal swimming training until you were 11 years old. That's kind of late for a swimmer, isn't it?
It is very late for a swimmer, but I actually started swimming because I was fat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was the fattest girl in the class in grade 6.
Oh, my God.
So my mum took me down to the pool to have lessons, just to sort of give me some exercise. So I didn't really want to go down there and do it. But
there's a lot of pressure on young girls at that age, isn't there?
Yes, that's right. You know about that, wouldn't you?
No, I don't. Sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. Feel free. Feel absolutely free.
I've got nothing more to add.
But did you ever think that you would get where you are today? Like, I mean, just from, you know, swimming in 11 because of a weight loss problem?
Oh, look, I would have never have dreamed that I've done the things that I've done now. Like, you know, to have swum the English Channel and... Twice, and swum across Bass Strait and...
Yeah. And you got the Guinness Book of Records for that one, didn't you?
Definitely.
You're in the Guinness Book of Records for that.
Yeah.
That is full on.
First person, yeah.
That's amazing. What would you say would be your most difficult race?
I would have to say that was the Bass Strait, because It was 100 kilometres with...
There you go, you can read that out if you like.
The channel between England and France grows about 30 millimetres each year. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. The wall said it was true.
Yeah, it is true. If it comes out of the wall, it has to be true.
Really?
So.
Everything that comes out the wall is
That's
true,
right,
isn't it?
absolutely.
The wall never lies.
And cucumbers are 98%
96.
water. 96% water.
Yeah, I think so. People are going to have to rewind if they're taping it to
I know.
check our facts and figures.
They're going to learn a lot today. It's quite educational, I think.
Yeah, I like the wall.
I like the wall too. Sure.
I think the
Do you like
wall's
the wall?
Oh, well, yeah, I like the wall.
Good stuff. Now, one thing I wanted to know was, do you still, when you go on these big swims, rub yourself down with that animal fat? Is that still happening?
Yeah.
What
we
is
do.
that?
It's actually called wool fat, and when I go down to the chemist to buy it, like the people in the chemist look at me really strangely because they normally only sell it in little tiny jars, and it's actually for women that are breastfeeding and have like sore nipples.
Yeah.
And so when I go in there and I say I'll have a kilo of it, they sort of look at me rather strangely and think, poor girl, she must have had like quads or something. So like I'm really embarrassed. But when you're over in England and you're going to swim the channel, you're going to the chemist there and you say, I have a tub of channel grease, thanks.
They know what you're on about.
And it's just like under the counter and it's labelled channel grease,
Yeah.
so it's really bizarre.
great.
They're really used to it over there.
Yeah, for sure. So you're here today for Coast Care. Do you want to tell us how it started and what it's all about?
Well, Coast Care is about cleaning up the beaches because I've travelled all around the world and I swam in New York in July and I swam through some pretty bad polluted waters.
Yeah.
I saw things go floating by and I thought to myself, I'd never want Australia to be like that. So Coast Care is about the community getting behind, cleaning up their little patch of beach and doing their best to look after our oceans because...
I think we've got some vision here as well of some of these awful... Now, is this in Australia?
Yes, this is in Australia.
Oh, my
See all those
God.
plastic bags? Plastic's one of the worst pollutants
Yep.
that we have. And often birds and turtles think that the plastic bags are jellyfish and they eat them and then they die a really slow and painful death. So it's pretty bad. We have to be really careful.
Sure. So how can people get involved in...
Well, there's a toll-free number to call, which is 1800 803 772.
Yep.
Give that number a call and the people on the other end of the line will ask where you live and they'll tell you where your closest beach is, where you can go down and help clean up the coast.
And clean it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get
and keep
into
the
it.
ocean.
Do something good and positive.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And have you got any horror stories of some of the worst, places that you've been for pollution?
Well, I guess that would have to be Manhattan was the worst one.
Yeah, and you just did that recently.
Yeah, I did that in July. I saw some pretty horrendous things go floating by because we actually had to swim past a sewage plant at one particular
Oh, my
stage.
God,
So
that's
you can
disgusting.
imagine what came
That's
out of
full
that.
on.
Yeah, it was pretty
Well,
awful.
Thank you very much for coming in today and talking to us about Coast Care. And if people want to get involved in that, the number is 1800 803 772. Could everybody please thank Tammy Van Wisser? Now, over the years, Friends of Rom have made some very memorable appearances on Recovery, and they're here again today playing some tracks off their third album, their newie, Meet the Family with all the ugly heads on it. Here's Friends of Rom with Mr. Charisma.
It's a good
This is Frenzal Rhomb CD, and that's Frenzal Rhomb. And they're on a tour. You're starting a tour at the moment, is that right?
G'day.
Just speak normally.
Hello, Dave. Hello.
Hello.
So, hey, listen.
Nice to
Hey,
you.
Dave. We're playing at the Horton Pavilion on Sunday, the 7th of December. That's next Sunday. It's in Sydney.
It's called the Irresponsive-thon, and it's a tremendous festival.
It's going to be marvellous.
Okay.
Are you going to come?
Yes.
You're invited. It's $750 plus booking fee. It's us and Green Spoon and the Hard Ones and Fly Speed and Dog Book and Nancy Man.
I don't mind. Okay.
You were scared, Dylan. You were scared. You were too scared to come.
I fear no one. I can make a fool of myself.
Next time, Dylan. Next time.
Yeah, I'll get you, Dylan Hughes. Lewis. Okay, no. Thanks for coming on the show. And now there's a story about train spotting. Yeah, I'm fine for time. Here, I've got this. Are we going to the story about train spotting? Okay, train spotting. The guys in... Yeah.
Okay, Danny, you're credited as the director and Andrew, you as the producer, but how much do you actually swap roles while you're making a film?
We don't. We work together with another guy, a writer, John Hodge, and the three of us each do the writing, the producing, the directing, roughly in that order. We don't interfere with each other's job, except for the fact that we talk to each other, and that's very unusual.
And we all try and make the same film, which is you've got to talk to each other in order to be able to do that, and that is very unusual in the film business, because you usually come across people who are making different films with each other than, you know, and which is a recipe for catastrophe normally.
Why is it, do you think, that Trainspotting was such a massive success?
I think it. You know, people find it's funny because the characters are quite extreme. I mean, they're quite extreme in the book and they're quite extreme in the film. But obviously, they represented something to people around the world, because it didn't just work in Britain. It worked all over the world. You know, and it's got this incredible following. It can only be. It's not to do with style. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's the style of the film" or anything like that. I don't think it is. I think it's to do with people recognise something in those characters that either about that they recognise in themselves or in their friends. For me, it's about a kind of energy that you have at a certain age, and it's about to, and people recognise that as being, you know, an energy they have or that they've lost, and they want to celebrate again, or you know, and I guess that's what it comes out of for me.
Was it a conscious move to do a romantic comedy after Trainspotting?
Yeah, we'd made two films, Shallow Grave and Trainspotting, which are, I mean, Shallow Grave was quite depraved, and Trainspotting was extremely depraved, and we thought, no, we can't go on like this. This is too much, really. And we wanted to make something lighter, more optimistic, more positive. I mean, it's still quite twisted. We call it a romance with saliva, really. So.
What's wrong? What's wrong is I thought you were going to shoot me. That's what's wrong.
Shoot you, Robert? Why? I wouldn't do a thing like that.
Oh, no?
No, but I'm having a great time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Do you hope that you will be responsible for a resurgence in a young, exciting British films?
Lots of people try and blame us with a lot of things, especially to do with Trainspotting, a lot of the mistakes of the youth of the country, and I don't think we can be responsible for that any more than we can be responsible for a resurgence in the British film industry. They will take any credit that's going.
Oh, sure, you're right.
I'm miraculously clean again. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what happened. And this is Dylan Leach, son of Francis Leach, who appeared with Frenzal Rom, your role was mainly just sort of standing there, wasn't it, Dylan?
Yeah.
And let them do... Geez, they have no respect for authority, those
And I
Frenzal
had to
Rom
wear a
boys.
lousy old Indian party hat.
Yeah, crappy hat. Crappy Frenzal Rom. Anyway, here's... oh, you wanted to be on TV before you were 9, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to do that live competition.
What live competition?
No, I don't know.
No.
I made it up.
Loud competition.
Loud. I mean, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I had a competition. What do we have to do with the loud competition? Co-host it?
Yeah, co-host.
Oh, okay. When do we start that?
It's...
Oh, you send in your VHSs now.
Oh.
I just thought of that. No one told me that. Okay, now it's Janet's dance report. Ow!
Thanks, Dylan. Okay, still going on what you were talking about earlier, Dave, with Francis, is the Starbait tour, which is happening with the Prodigy, Black Grape, Regurgitated, Baxter, and of course, confirmed as DJ is Phil Ransom, my mate. So that would be ace.
Phil Ransom.
Yeah, added to the bill, as you mentioned.
Phil Ransom.
Well, his name is Ransom, DJ Ransom, and he rocks. We saw a clip earlier of Crystal Method. This is the single, Busy Child, that we saw. They've released an album. Now, they're actually like England's...
Crystal Method.
America's answer to the English kind of electronic dance craze that's happening. So they're from the States and they will be touring just Sydney and Melbourne for the Starbait thing. Now, that's their album. It's entitled Vegas. Yeah, see...
I'm trying to be like Dylan Lewis, I don't know.
Yeah, Dylan
I'm not pierced or anything.
dances around. He doesn't actually sit there and listen to me, so this is kind of
Oh, I don't know
really
if
nice.
see the
There's all
moving
these-
thing's not working anyway.
I think we're actually
boy.
in the universe and the stars.
Oh no, not this. This will make me have an epileptic fit or something.
Okay, yeah, so Crystal Method, they're kind of, well, they've supported people like Chemical Brothers, they've done remixes for Black Grape.
How come it's blue
Yoko
here and all
Nobi.
coloured?
Well, I see we're actually
Oh, this
moving
is like that
along now.
Sesame
I like
Street
this one.
thing.
This is cool. Also confirmed for the Starbait lineup.
Remember that? My suit's wrecked.
Confirmed for Starbait is Death in Vegas. Now, they have this album called Dead Elvis. Now, they'll be touring nationally. You can sit there if you want to be watching. Okay, they initially used to be called Dead Elvis, but because that name is already taken up, they have gone with the name Death in Vegas. Now, that's going on the full obsession from people still thinking that Elvis is around. Anyway, that's that. So that's what's been confirmed for Starbait, so that should be one to look out for. You're right, you're not supposed to sit still, you're not supposed to listen, you're supposed to be feeling around.
I'm trying to listen.
I did want to mention this quickly too, this is a Filter CD. This is very much on the techno tip. You're into techno?
I think I am, I'm not really sure.
Do you ever go to clubs?
Yeah, I did. I went to one once down here. I went to a place called Monkey.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
at the Palace. Well, this is actually... Filter is actually a night that's held in Melbourne at the Lounge. It's been running for over 5 years and it's like the biggest techno night, and they've taken it to Sydney and they have released this album called Filter, and it's just all Melbourne and Sydney artists. Now, it really rocks. It's going to do lots of good things. People like Honey Smack, Wojtek, should go on, heaps and heaps and heaps of people. Organism, it goes on. There's a beautiful
I will not
hand.
be made a fool of.
No, that's what I say every week. Okay. Also touring is Roger Sanchez from New York. He'll be out here next week, now playing Melbourne and Sydney. Have you heard of Roger Sanchez?
Yes, I have.
Big house producer,
Yes.
DJ,
Yes.
and he rocks. Very much into the Latin kind
Yes.
of house sound, but he's great. Also touring, actually tonight in Melbourne with Phil Asher, aka Restless Soul, Basic Soul. Again, another
Phil
producer.
Ransom playing tonight?
Phil Ransom, he'll be in one of the rooms. In Sydney, tonight is Colossus 2, big huge
I like Phil
dance
Ransom
party.
because it sounds a bit like a joke name.
Seriously. Big huge dance party, kind of more on the Euro
Stop
sort of
bugging
sounding
me,
thing. Capella
Chief.
will be playing there, so if you're into that, go check that out. What else did I want to mention? There's a few things. Okay, you took my notes. All right, we're going to see a clip
Can we have
now
the
from
funny wavy thing again before we go?
the Recovery.
Yeah.
This is De-Influence. They have released now 3 albums. This is really going on the summer kind of vibe. They've released this album called London. Now, it's very much on the kind of Incognito. See what interesting things are? Very much like Incognito's Soul to Soul. Great album. They've released a few singles off this. Where did that come from?
So it's bloody ROMs again. They've got no idea of authority and what you should and shouldn't do.
Actually, during this clip that we're about to see, for some reason, don't ask me why, but maybe because Fiona's not here this week, we're going to sort of help each other out. There's going to be an all-ages crawl going along the bottom. There is no relevance to De-Influence with this, but it's just, you know, a spot to put it. De-Influence, and the track is called Magic, so we're going to see a clip. Thank you,
Jeanette.
Thank you.
Since primary school. Since primary school.
Okay, next up we have Diana Arnade with her song See Through. Please make her welcome as well.
Thanks. Here I am with my back to the audience again. It's kind of weird, but here goes. I'll just pretend that I can see you all. Or setting any trends, and this isn't where the shocking's gonna start or end. So if I'm upsetting you, well, maybe you should leave, 'cause I'm not going to. No, this is me, yeah, yeah. La da 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 da, da 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 da, la da 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 da. Whoa, yeah, yeah. La da 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 da, da 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 da, la da 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 da. I don't mind if I turn people on, but I don't really care if I turn them off, because being me was never enough to please everyone. La da 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 da, da 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 da, la da 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 da. Whoa, yeah, la da 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 da, da 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 da, la da 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 da, da 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 da. Thanks.
Okay, Diana and I are going to have a quiet little chat, but while she's coming over here, you've got to watch this. It's hard work, isn't it? All this singing. So you were on the show a couple of months ago, and you
Going
played
Off.
I Go Off.
Mhm.
What have you been doing since then? What's been going on?
What have I been doing? Oh, just having fun, I think. Playing a bit of music here and there and meeting funky people and just having fun, you know? What else do you do?
I don't know. I never know what to do when I'm not doing other stuff.
Take a hint, just have fun.
Oh, no, you can't just have fun all the time because then you end up with nothing.
Right.
You've got to work and you've got an
But
album
working
and
is fun.
Oh, no, yeah, I
That's
guess so.
kind of fun, what I just did then. Apart from things falling over and me getting completely manic at the end.
But that can be fun.
Yeah, manicness.
That was fun.
Madness.
I
It's all
should
fun.
mention these things here.
You should.
Now, I
'cause
can't help
won't.
it's Diana Arnade See Through. This is your new single that you just played. And this is body paint on you.
Why don't you just
on
tell
this.
the whole world?
Is it a secret?
It's meant to be. Now people will
no.
be staring at me. Oh
Well,
my God,
make your
look
own
at that.
decisions, young kiddies. Make your own decisions. Don't listen to Uncle Dave. He's an idiot.
Yeah, right. Right.
So, what do you think? Do you think it's body paint?
Well, wouldn't I know? Really?
I don't know.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, I'm scared by those things. So,
That could be like a massage if we both went and stood up against it.
Oh, no.
Like a spa.
Oh, no.
An aerial spa.
So, you re-recorded bits of your album. See, I know some stuff.
Is that relevant? Are we meant to talk about music?
Oh, no, let's not talk
No,
about
let's not talk about music. I've done that.
What do you want to
Been
talk
there.
about?
So how are you? You know, come on.
Oh, how am I? I've had a pretty good morning. I've been sprayed with stuff. I've had water poured on me.
Right.
That thing fell down. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying
That's what
now.
you were doing in the makeup room, right? Getting fresh.
Yeah. Oh, no, someone was... Rosa was blow drying.
Blow drying you.
Yeah. Oh, just because it was damp.
That's
and
cool.
they were afraid it wouldn't look good on TV.
Yeah, right.
But I said, I don't care. I don't
Who
care what I
cares?
look like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Accept me for what I am.
I'm dripping. It's okay.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares
TV.
anyway? God.
I'm getting a signal from the enforcer.
Mm. What
And
does it say?
Is my finger dislocated?
Is my finger dislocated?
We should just enjoy this moment briefly.
I think we should put him on a guitar and test it out.
I don't know, champ.
real
What do you
test.
reckon, Chief? Hey,
No.
boss. Okay, what's coming up?
What's coming up?
Yes.
All right. Well, oh, for me. I thought you meant on the show.
I don't know.
I don't know what's
For
on the
her.
show. I need cue cards.
No, I get an odd
for
cue
me.
card. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Fun. I told you.
You love having fun.
What else is there? I don't know.
Just a meaningless grind
the
until you
meaningless
die.
grind of good times. My God, it's so
And-
hard.
Speaking of that, during the week we've had a lot of requests for the In Excess J file. So
Right.
now we should go and watch that.
Cool.
Thank you, Diana Arnade. I forgot to say something. I knew there was something else I could do.
All you got is this moment. 21st century's yesterday. You can care all you want. Everybody does, yeah, that's okay. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You wanna my kind. I need you tonight. 'Cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat.
Over 20 million records sold in just under 20 years. Thousands of shows around the world, numerous awards, countless hit singles. The achievements of In Excess have been amazing. And through all the highs and the lows, there was never any lineup changes. The same 6 guys took on the world and they won.
So we'll say it together, eh?
Yeah.
Hi, we're In
that
Excess.
never works.
No, we'll never get out of here.
It never works.
Just give it a go. It doesn't matter if it sounds. It's a hiring excess and you continue.
It's
Hi, we're In Excess. Is that the word?
Yes. In the 80s, In Excess was one of the first white bands anywhere in the world to mix dance beats into their guitar rock.
my brother. Where have you been, Doc?
In Excess first formed as something of a family act. They were called the Farris brothers after the siblings Andrew, Tim,
So I'm perfectly sane. You don't worry about me.
and John. Andrew Farris had met Michael Hutchence at school.
Noxema? I use Noxema.
Two other close friends of the guys completed the lineup of the band, Gary Beers
There goes my hat.
and Kirk Pengilly.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome very warmly
Soon they became a live favourite on the Sydney circuit, especially with the surfers up and down the coast.
The very least you can do is make someone feel better for 45 minutes.
Their debut album came late in 1980. It contained their first chart hit, Just Keep Walking. Then came the serious touring. Often playing 7 nights a week, In Excess's popularity started to spread across the country.
I sent a message. Guess who?
Comparisons between Hutchence and Mick Jagger only increased the interest in this new local band. Another hit was The One Thing, with its somewhat suggestive and debauched video.
Well, you know just what to do to me, the way you move. Soft and slippery, cut the knife, just like a razor. Well, you top, and that's the
I went through a phase a few years ago where you know, you lose your mind and why not, you know, for a little while, but that gets really tacky quickly.
Shaboo Shabar became In Excess's third gold album in a row in Australia. But by the end of 1982, the band realised even bigger opportunities existed for them overseas. In 1985, What You Need became the band's biggest hit in the States, going top 5. The band was rewarded with an unprecedented 7 Countdown Awards.
Brill!
With the Kick album, In Excess reached their peak. Another lengthy world tour brought them huge sales and their first US #1, Need You Tonight.
Every single one of us, the devil inside, devil inside, devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Oh.
After well over a year on the road, In Excess took most of 1989 off.
Happiness to me is just in the right environment of friends, you know, feeling that you kind of matter beyond the hype, beyond the music world as well, you know. That you're valid, you exist outside of magazines and things.
You got 2 blonde women standing on a dockside. They both got big fish. One goes bang and hits the other one in the head, and the other one goes pew, picks up a fish and goes bang and hits her, right? So that's what you do, you know, that's it. That's the whole video.
When In Excess eventually returned to the stage with a new album, it was impossible for them to match their previous success. Their X album still went platinum in its first week of release here, but Suicide Blonde was the album's only hit. In 1991, though, In Excess still pulled huge crowds, playing to 50,000 in Mexico and 72,000 at London's Wembley Stadium.
Success just gets you a seat in the restaurant, you know? maybe, and you can pay for dinner for everyone.
Since then, though, the band has more often made the headlines not because of their music, but due to their singer's private life. When Hutchins dated Kylie Minogue, many eyebrows were raised. Next came supermodel Helena Christensen. But the relationship to put him on the front pages worldwide was when he hitched up with Paula Yates, Bob Geldof's ex. Together they endured an overzealous press. They also had a daughter in 1996, Heavenly Harani Tigerlily.
I could just be everything and everyone to you. This life would just be so easy. Not enough time for all that I want for you. Not enough time for every kiss, every touch, and all the nights I want to be inside you.
And look at it through the mind's eye and the soul and the heart. I just write that way.
Hi, we're in excess.
In Excess was preparing to tour Australia to celebrate 20 years together when Michael Hutchins was found dead in his hotel room in Sydney. He was 37. Achieved so much over so many years, it's been a finale too cruel and sad to comprehend. The music may still survive, but that seems little consolation right now.
I'm sitting here with Harriet and Michelle, who are the two young designers here at Rich Clothing. Working in a small company, how do you find it?
I love it. You have a lot more input. You just get to learn more. There's not a lot of us here, but we all work together as a team.
How much influence do you have over what you design here for this company?
We can't do exactly what we want all the time because it just won't sell. You have to modify what you do for the company and for the market, but we do get to have a bit of input. It's really satisfying.
Is it hard to keep coming up with new designs?
I always have different ideas just flowing.
Yeah, and you're always thinking ahead as well, so you've usually got a little store that you can draw on.
What kind of fabrics do you enjoy working with most?
Knitwear. I like a lot of knitwear. Tight, stretchy.
Yeah, I like synthetic fabrics. I like lots of stretches too.
And I sort of find myself designing things that are tight and slimline and flowy. So with knitwear, it's just easier to drape.
For the stuff that I make for myself, it's just easier anyway. You don't have to do as many darts and stuff. You can just cut it out and stick it on. It works.
What would you say to young people who want to get into fashion designing?
Just be prepared for lots of hard work.
Go for it. It's good. It's really interesting. You're always doing something different. It's a lot of hard work and there's a lot of stress. But I think if you want to do it, just do it.
It's a good way of expressing yourself and it's perfectly valid. Clothes are really important and yeah, it's heaps of fun.
Hello and welcome back. Thanks for joining me. And we have a fax. Someone sent in another fax lyric-y thing to our fax number, which is... I'll tell you later, though. Oh, there it is now. OK, this fax is from anonymous Mr. and Mrs. from McDonaldtown. And they want to know where Dylan is. And Dylan, as we all know, is away on holidays. But their song goes like this. Please explain on what basis you must be put off your faces. That rhymes, so that's very good so far. The pretentious dork from Custard with his garish suit of mustard is a very boring chap and his music is very crap. Well, I mean... No, I think it's a fair criticism, kiddies. I think it's a good bit of opinion. An opinion just of mine, as your show is always fine. So normally recovery's good, but anyway, this is from Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous. And if you want to fax in more of these anonymous things, 03 9524 2506. So that'd be good. I'd like to read many more, and the rhyming is very good. And now next, we have a thing that I'm going to talk to you about, the Warped Tour, which features a whole stack of bands from Australia and America, a whole stack of punk bands, including our own Frenzal Rhomb, who are going to play 2 more songs in just a little while. And there's playing a whole lot of places around the place, and the tickets are on sale Monday. And here is one of the bands from California, USA, 311, with a song called Prisoner. Okay, good. Everything seems to be completely in order. I have got to chat about recovery. Oh, there's some people on the computer thingy. I'm throwing that around. Okay, the Recovery CD, it's got a whole lot of live tracks from bands that have played on Recovery, including... Where is it? Who's got it, boss? Oh, there it is. Excuse me for a second while I show you my tush. Say this is a good Christmas present. This would be a sensational Christmas present. It's a Recovery CD and it's got Jebediah, Pangaea, Magic Dirt, Fundamental, Pollyanna, whole stack of stuff on it. There it is, right in the dark bit there. So it's double CD and it's released on the 5th of December 1997. So feel free to buy that and throw stuff at me, young kiddies. Okay, next up we're going to be crossing to the Courtyard soonish. Not immediately next up, like a little bit of next up. And it's going to have Erin reviewing Chumbawamba, Diana reviewing Metallica, and Kylie reviewing Fluke. But that's going to be in a little bit. That's not now. Well, it'll be okay, though. It'll happen. Okay, and now, just smoothly into another story about Festival Hall, Melbourne. It's a very interesting story, and the Beatles played there. So here's Festival Hall, Melbourne. That was an interesting and informative piece on Festival Hall, Melbourne. And now, live in the studios, we have Cordrazine, who were on the show earlier this year. They put out this Time to Leave EP with a song called Crazy on it. Now they're on our show, my show, very special guests, Cordrazine. Clear light.
What you have ourselves ceaselessly return. All of my heart, all of my, all of my, all of my
That was Cordrazine with a fantastic song. What's the plan, Cordrazine boys? Chat to me.
The plan, we're actually recording at the moment as we speak. Well, I suppose we are kind of with these things, but we're in the studio recording an album which we will finish on the 15th of December. And you people will hear on the, I think, late Feb, early March.
That's a good time for an album to come out late.
It is a
Feb.
good time.
Summer's just sort of waning and the temperature's getting more reasonable. You don't need a fan to sleep.
It's the twilight of the summer season too.
Can also be some of the saddest times of the year, though.
It is, because you're going back into the cloudiness of winter.
Jesus, depressing, isn't it? But your record will be exciting, though, for you to put out.
Yeah, look, it's kind of, it's fun. It's
Can't be
tiring to
bad.
record, though, I tell you.
Yeah. Well, everyone should clap now for Cordrazine.
Thank you.
Okily dokily. I'm back. That's like my little hook now. Okay, on New Year's Eve this year, there's a thing that goes on called Rock Above the Falls, and Recovery are presenting it. And in connection with the presentation of it, they're running a competition. I said there, I should probably say we are, because at the moment I'm the face of Recovery, but I shouldn't think about that because I'll get very strange thoughts and stuff. Okay, I'm getting lost in the camera. Okay, and the competition involves this. For 25 or words or less in a little gap on a piece of paper, you have to say what your New Year's resolution is. And if you win, you get a double pass to the Falls Festival and return airfare to and from Melbourne, and camping gear and a whole lot of other stuff. So if I was you, I guess I'd enter that if you want to go there, because it'd be good, because Iggy Pop's playing and you and I are playing and a whole lot of other stuff. Okay, now there's a story about 3 young mums that Daniel Marsden caught up with in Bourke. So here it is.
Since primary school, all our lives.
Yeah, all our lives.
What's it mean for you guys being mates?
Always having someone there for you. Someone you can trust, yeah.
Well, that's a good answer.
Someone to babysit.
Yeah. Someone to have fun with, eh?
No, someone that you can talk to and not have to worry about them going around telling everyone else.
When so strong you decided that you just don't want to be carried with it anymore.
I'd have to say most recently, when I decided to move back to Bourke, they helped me make up my mind.
Yeah. Then I lost my first baby. I had my friends there. And when I fell pregnant, they were there. Belinda and Maricon. Yeah.
And I'd have to say last couple of days when I've moved and everyone helped me move.
And?
When I broke up with my boyfriend.
And?
And what? I had nothing else.
Yeah, when you fell pregnant.
Oh, and when I
hit
fell
the roof.
pregnant, both times.
Chucked a nana.
Chucked a nana, all right.
How have your friends helped you out?
They've been very nice to me. Whenever I want anything done, they do it for me.
Shopping?
Yes. They take me out and make me spend me money.
Couldn't live without them.
No. Definitely not.
Nurse, pass me the forceps.
A TV show that's been around longer than me? I'd like to see that.
Well, that was my favourite bit so far. That was fantastic. So just before that, we had The Offspring, and their tour starts on Monday at Sydney, and then Melbourne, then Adelaide, then Brisbane, and yeah, playing big places, lots of people. Okay, and before that was Daniel Marsden from A Race Around the World with a story on some young mums that he did in Bourke, and that was very, very good. I give him a score of, I don't know what the score out of 100, I give him 100. Okay, 20, okay, I give him 20. 20, 20, 100, 100. Okay, now we've got a bit, they tell me there was a thing called Soapy Bits, and this apparently looks a lot like it. If we could just get a shot of the sci-fi quiz bitty. Not you, sweetheart. Okay, so here it is. So this is a sci-fi questiony bit. And the deal is I asked these lovely three young people questions, and then the first one to buzz your little lightsaber, I got to figure out who buzzes it, and then you win. Okay, so scoreboard. Who have we got? Can you introduce yourselves, please?
Hello, I'm Laura. I'm Nikki. And I'm Este.
Este, as in Laura. Yeah, and you're okay. And you're sitting in a bath.
And it's really uncomfortable.
And there's a, well, slightly crappy sign behind you.
Plastic.
Okay, let's start. Let's not wait any longer. Okay, the first question. The first one in on the swords will have the first shot at the title and get some points up on the board. Is it 1 point for a correct answer, Chief? Okay, thanks, boss. Okay, Darth Vader's real name is A, Tony, B, Franco Arena, C, Anakin Skywalker. Incorrect.
Okay.
Do we keep going? I don't know, did she lose points?
No.
What is this, Mastermind?
Can you answer again?
I don't know. Hey, Chief, what's the answer? I mean, like, not the answer to the question.
C?
What's the plan?
It's C.
Yeah, the answer's C, but no one got it.
They can't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, whoa. Let's have a big round of applause. Television doesn't get better than this. Okay. In the X-Files, Mulder and Scully's cigarette-smoking nemesis is known as A, George Burns, B, Bronchial Man, C, Cancer Man. Yes, Nikki. B is incorrect. Negative. That's -2 now. Let's have a big round of applause. Yes. Okay, moving right along. In both Star Treks, Captain Kirk and Captain Picard face which annoying group of beings? A, window cleaners at traffic lights. Thanks, boss, for these answers. They're good. B, the midday show studio audience, or C, Klingons? Oh, I think Este as in Estee Lauder got that. A, no, it's C. They're all C because I can read out all the questions. Okay. I'm going to change the order around a little bit here. Okay, in Red Dwarf, Danny John Jules, who was on recovery earlier this year, plays which character? A, the Fonz, boss. B, Cat. C, blue tongue lizard? Yes, Nikki.
B.
Yeah, correct. You're kidding. Back to a strong -1. Okay, Xena Warrior Princess, which is not a bad show, lives in A, Granny Flat in Canberra, B, constant fear of marsupials, thanks boss, and C, Amphipolis.
B. I was first.
Who was first?
It was
Laura.
It was
C, correct. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so what's the score? Score check. Laura's 1, Nikki's -1, and Este's in Estee Lauder is 0.
I still win something, don't I?
Yeah, I'll give you whatever. Okay, and the last question is, what creature does Arnie fight in the movie Predator? Okay.
Oh, say it first.
Oh.
I watched it last night.
Okay, A, Richard Wilkins, B, Flipper, C, the Predator. Oh, you got it, you're in. Oh, you got it as well, I don't care.
C.
Yeah, C, everyone won. All right. Oh, who won?
I won.
Oh, jeez. Okay, good. Okay, big round of applause. And coming up now is one of the most stylish men in rock, with some very famous friends, including Michael Jackson, Pulp, Help the Aged.
Dave.
Lee.
This next guest should make you proud. He should give you a warm feeling in the pit of your stomach. He's one of the biggest film directors in the world today. Record producer, CD-ROMs, he's a multimedia, countless theatre productions, multimedia icon. The reason he should make you proud is because he's Australian, he's ours. You may know him best as the director of
You Little
Romeo and
Beauty.
Juliet and Strictly Ballroom. Please, everyone, welcome the Mega Man, Baz Luhrmann.
Leonardo, I'll be there in a minute, though. Okay.
They love you, Baz. They love you
Leonardo,
out there.
let's be honest.
They love Romeo and Juliet, Strictly Ballroom, your whole thing. You actually, when you were starting off in theatre, did you ever envisage that you would move into film? Was that part of your whole plan to be a filmmaker?
Actually, what we do now, and I'm part of a team, but we've always done that. I mean, whether it's getting a little Super 8 camera or making pieces of theatre or having my own radio show. I remember doing that when I was about your age,
So how did Strictly Ballroom actually come about, with the funding and everything for that?
Strictly Ballroom was something that I made when I was at drama school. And it started as a very, very tiny little play. And that play went for I think it went about 20 minutes originally. And then I had a theatre company, I did another version of it. And we went to a theatre in Czechoslovakia, and this is like years before the wall came down and things like that, and it won an award there. And then finally I wanted to make a film, and I met this great man called Ted Albert. And Ted had these bands, AC/DC and, Vanda and Young. And anyway, he wanted to make a movie. So he wanted to make this film, and we struggled to get the money. He put a certain amount of money into it. And I remember actually, one of the saddest things about it was that on the day that we got the rest of the money, he died of a heart attack. So,
he died?
Yeah, so one of his favourite songs was Love Is in the Air. And that song ended up being at the end of Strictly Ballroom. And on the new album, Something for Everybody, which what we've done is we've taken really well-known tracks from all of our shows, from opera and from film.
We've
and
actually
theatre.
got that here.
Yes, this is
Something for Everybody.
We've got Something for Everybody.
You're like a hit maker. You make all these Quindon Tarver and Radiohead. You sort of broke them in the States, really. And who would have ever heard of the Cardigans if it wasn't for Love Fool?
Well,
of course.
they probably
Are you the sole decision maker? When it comes to music that goes on your films, are you the man that makes the final decision?
And in fact, what we do, which is,
Jeez. Don't worry about it.
Does that happen when you lie? Is that the lie detector, is it? No, what happens is we write the music into our scripts. So we do a lot of work on music before we actually shoot. I'm sure the Cardigans would have done very fine without us, but we did...
You helped them.
Well, we contacted them very early, like Tom York from Radiohead, for example. we wanted a theme for Romeo. And I became aware of Radiohead, and I rang Tom, and he really liked the idea of it. And we worked and we worked and we worked. And I can remember the very last thing we did was put that track, which is now on OK Computer, which is called Exit Music Theme for a Film. And I can, you know, he was all, you know, I don't know, fucking, he was very worried about it, you know. But it was a good collaboration.
Rocker. I think we're going to have a look at something now off this, something for everybody. I think this is Christine Arnoux. Let's have a look. Something for everybody.
Actually, Lee, what I want to say about that is that on Something for Everybody, there's every kind of tune. As I was saying with Love Is in the Air, we've taken that and we've interpreted it in a very different and unusual way. We've got this track called Sunscreen, which is on there, that's playing a lot
at the moment.
Very much so. But this track here, Now Into the Break of Day, it's used, opera singer David Hobson, it's got Christine Arnoux, but it's sort of a funky Christmas carol. That was the idea of it. And the thing I want to say about this is that actually, the proceeds from the single of this particular single, are going to Link Up, which is to help Aboriginal families sort of find, you know, come back together again and find themselves. So that's, you know, just
fantastic.
That's just an extra thing that work is doing, but it's kind of the Christmas carol on the track.
Great. Dave was just mentioning to me before the show about the big studios and how hard it would have been for you to convince them to use the original Shakespearean dialogue from Romeo and Juliet. Could you elaborate on that? Was it hard to convince them to go with that dialogue?
It was a
No,
it was a...
I don't remember asking that. I may have done.
You were mentioning it. You went into it.
It was an incredibly difficult battle to get them to do that. I mean, actually, Leonardo came out to Australia twice, a year and a half before we made the film, and those photographs you see of him on the cover of the album were shot in Surrey Hills, you know, in the blue shirts.
Leonardo's been in Surrey Hills.
Yeah, indeed. And, like, you know, he came out coach, and he did that to try and get the film to be made. He believed in it so much. So, you know, it was a great battle to get it made. I mean, you know, Shakespeare's aren't known for being big Hollywood blockbusters, you know.
How did you sort of pitch it to them? Did you say, listen, I'm going to...
Actually, I mean, at first I went, so it's going to be Shakespeare in modern dress, and he went, that's bad. We wanted Strictly Ballroom 2. You know? And I said, so we did this tape, actually, with Leonardo, and then when they saw him in the suits and the guns and everything, they went, I get it, it's kind of like Gangs. Gangs is good, but can we lose the language, you know? So it was one of those ongoing battles that we finally won.
Well, now that you sort of had this huge, monstrous success, what's next for you, future projects?
The album is very important to us at the moment, and it's going out. And it really is, the thing about it is, it has everything from kind of, you know, Sunscreen and, you know, they've got a cover of Loveful by PVC on it, to some opera and things like that. But the next thing we're moving on to is these new films that we're doing, and it's been a big struggle. But having won this creative freedom, we have the ability to make films set anywhere else in the world, but to make them here in Australia.
The thing I was going to ask you is, like, a lot of
deal.
Directors would be tempted to stay in Hollywood and suck in the big bucks, but you're staying in Australia. Why?
I don't mind sucking in the big bucks. That's okay, right? But no, I mean, really, you know, it's because actually, I think to be good at what we do, you have to be connected to your culture. You have to be. I think the way we make films, everyone says, are very Australian. And they're very Australian because we're connected to our culture, so that's really, really important to us.
All right, well, you are doing us proud. I think the big question on Dave's mind, though, is what's happening with Claire Danes and Ben Lee?
How do you know about that? They were actually here in Australia. I can say this now because they left only here in Australia about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. They've been up to Byron Bay. I'm giving all the gossip. And, I mean, I can only say they're very, very happy. How did you know about that? I didn't tell
was
them.
just telling me about it.
I didn't even know I knew.
Yeah. No, Ben's terrific, clever music guy. He's been signed by the Beastie Boys, as you know, and he...
the Beasties.
Yeah, and he and Claire are, I guess I can formally say they're friends.
They're friends. You heard it first on Recovery. Can everyone please thank Baz Luhrmann? Oh, yes!
I didn't say that. Thanks, Ben.
What's happening now?
And I've got to thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Baz. Yeah! And now we have a song by Pearl Jam, who are going to be touring Australia pretty soon, but the tickets are all gone, so unless you know someone in the band or extremely rich or important, you won't get a ticket. And here's a song called Alive from their old record. This one, 10, Pearl Jam. Okay, well, thanks for still watching Recovery. And now we have a section that I'm very excited, I'm sure you're all very excited about. It's the Mr. Fix-It bit. So here he is, Mr. Fix-It!
can tell you how to fix that. I can tell you how to fix that.
So where do we do this, boss?
Okay, well, it's the first day on television, yeah. I'm just going to explain to Dave how television works and you and the viewers at home. You point one of these,
What's
these
that
things.
called? Camera.
Is that? Yep.
Yeah.
You point one of these at you.
Okay.
Right, you go in there and come out here.
I'm in here.
They can see you, but you can't see them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fix-It! Yes! Thank you, Mr. Fix-It, for that. Now, Frenzal Rhomb, my good close personal friends, Frenzal Rhomb, are going to play two more very brief musical selections from the album Meet the Family.
Thanks, Dave.
Please make them welcome the Rhomb. They're popular with the youngsters, the Rhomb. Okay, thank you very much, Frenzal Rhomb. They're playing a whole lot of gigs and stuff around the place. I had the dates, but I lost them. Okay, now the winners of the Grinspoon competition will be rolling across the bottom here at some point. I don't know when. And the Grinspoon competition. There they go. And you won an autographed block-mounted poster, a T-shirt, drink holders, Guide to Better Living CD, and repeat single. I guess that's what the single's called. And the question was an easy one or a difficult one, depending on how hard you think about it. What is life? And some of the entries were life is, thanks Chief, life is a sort of a can of drink. And anything else? What is life? It's a CD. I don't know. And life is a big, oh jeez. No respect on the show at all for anything. But that's good though, that's a good thing to do, rip up something. Okay, now, next on the show, as my special guest is someone called Mark Davis. Here he comes. Let's make him welcome. Yes, sit down. Thanks for being on the show, Mark.
That's all right.
Especially when I'm on it. And you've got a book out now called Gangland. Can you give us a bit of a brief rundown on what it's about?
Oh, it's about the old farts that run the media, basically. It's about,
let's get them.
It's about how when you pick up the paper, there's always the same people talking about the same things over and
In the
over
same
and
age
over
bracket.
again.
Where's the young blood?
Yeah, where's the young blood? Where's the new ideas?
Yeah, what you're saying in your book, if I'm correct here, is that this generation, the baby boomers, got all the opportunities and now they're fairly entrenched and they're not letting the natural evolution take place.
Yeah, I mean, you could just walk into the media, more or less, 25 years ago, and they give anyone a job. Now, you know, now you have to wait till you're 35 and, you know, really do the hard graft.
Now, why is that? How are they keeping this younger generation out?
Well, I think it's to do with the downsizing of everything, but it's also to do with the conservatism of everything, you know. If you go on the media and say postmodernism, everyone goes, oh my God, he just said postmodernism, quick, turn off the camera.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, yeah, I'm scared of that word. Like, for example, you wouldn't get someone who's never had any TV host experience hosting a TV show these days, would you?
Oh, well, I don't know. You seem to be doing all right.
I'm not doing all right. I'm doing a very strange and confused job. Now, there's also another ABC thing called Bohemian Rhapsody, which is coming out in December, early December. What day is that on TV?
It's on next Wednesday night.
Next Wednesday already?
Yeah, 8:30.
December the 3rd?
Yep, that's the one.
Now, how does that tie in, if at all, with your book?
It ties in really well. It's another kick in the bum, basically, for the old fart cultural establishment, you know. It sort of shows how there's sort of all sorts of young people, like young people make media too, you know. Young people do all sorts of fantastic things and there's all this sort of energy there. And what it does is it sort of shows multimedia, shows people are making zines, all that sort of thing, and then traces back to the sort of tradition of that sort of thing that's in Sydney and Melbourne.
20s, 30s.
Yeah, right through, and it's really interesting, actually, the way it sort of all connects together. Really
Let's, if we may, see a clip from that now.
Hi, I'm Eddie Greenaway. I'm the editor of Eddie Magazine. It's a theme-based slab of Aussie culture. Basically a platform for emerging writers and artists and cartoonists, which says, go out there and do it yourself. It's been described as very punk and in your face, so in a sense that we don't edit the work that comes in, we just put it straight in and let it go from there. We add text, add graphics to it to make it visually appealing, but yeah, it has a raw edge.
Okay, Mark, tell me about media stereotyping of young people.
Well, you know, that's the other thing that my book's about is the way you see young people in the media, and it's always they're in a gang or they're always sort of, you know, the Paxton sort of syndrome, you know, there's all that. And what you don't tend to get is the sort of constructive sort of stuff that takes seriously what young people are doing. You know,
you're getting the negative stuff.
Yeah, you get negative stereotypes, really boring, you know.
Yeah, bad news only, no good news.
Yeah, you watch a current affair or something, and what you'll see is endless sort of people shooting up in laneways.
Yeah, oh, they don't want no story on someone who did their homework and brushed their teeth and went to bed early, do they?
No, they don't want that.
That's some sort of drug-crazed prostitute trying to kill people.
And if they do have someone young who's done something great, it's sort of like, oh, wow, you know, they've done something like, isn't this...
But they have to do something pretty great, don't they, to get on
yeah.
those sorts of shows?
They have to rescue about 500 dogs or something.
Yeah, or uncover some sort of huge drug ring or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so the book is called Gangland. If you want to find out more information, get it. Thanks very much, Mark Davis. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Dave.
Oh, good. Another good bit. This is Beck with Dead Weight from that film A Life Less Ordinary. That's it. Here it is. Go. CD review time. We have Erin with Chumbawamba, and we have Diana with Metallica, and we have Kylie with Fluke. Okay, Erin, your time starts now. Give us a spiel.
Well, I didn't like it very much. It wasn't that good. It's dance, which I don't like,
okay.
but number one, Tub Thumping, that's like the only good song on the
Yeah,
album.
that's doing not too badly, my young friends tell me, on the charts. Okay, well, that's it. That's all you get. Diana, Arnade,
Oh, well,
Metallica,
you know,
Reload.
This album probably sucks about as hard as mine does. But which means that I probably like it in a kind of quirky, self-sacrificing kind of way. But you know, there's good points in it, like you know, lyrics like "Let me make your mind, leave yourself behind." I mean, what can I say? They're poets, man. And songs like what's that one we were talking about before? The 3-word "Better Than You," a song that just has 3 words, "Better Than You" and 3 chords. You've got to give him credit.
Yeah, less is more.
And produced by Bob Rock. I mean, you can't go wrong. Cock rock at its best.
Okay, so that's a cock rocky one. This one's a boring dance one. And Kylie, give me the lowdown on Fluke and Risotto.
This isn't that great because it's like techno. The only good song is probably number 2, Atom Bomb, but it's probably for techno lovers only, really.
Okay, stay away unless you like doof doof. Okay, thanks our CD reviewers. Everyone wins.
Beauty.
And now we're going to go to a Fluke song called Absurd. There, Fluke, Absurd. I've got some very important things I've got to say first. I said before that the Pearl Jam concerts were sold out, and indeed they were. I wasn't lying. I wouldn't lie to you. You know that. But they have announced some more Pearl Jam shows, and the tickets are still available. So you can see Pearl Jam if you so desire. And now, film reviews with Lee. Hi, Dave. Hello, Lee. Okay, champ.
Okay.
She's all yours.
I know what you did last summer, Dave.
Okay.
The film is coming out. I don't know what you did last summer.
No.
This is the name of the film that's coming out by the guy who did Scream. That was huge.
Yeah,
it was
I did see that.
Bigger than the Myer stock taking sale. Kevin Williamson's the guy that wrote it. He's now like hot property that he'd get taken out. Power lunches everywhere.
Yep.
I bet he eats 3 square meals a day.
Yep.
The guy's hot property. Obviously, the studios have grabbed him and said, "Listen, Kev, write us another mega hit. We want another squillion bucks. We want you to do like Scream 2. And he has done that, but they wanted another one and they got greedy. So he wrote, "I Know What You Did Last Summer." This is one of those films, like, remember that those mid-80s movies where a guy in a mask knocked off teenagers one by one?
Yes.
This is like that, your Halloweens, your prom nights. This is a return to that genre. Can I say genre?
Yeah, you can.
I love that style of film. I'm glad it's coming back. It's absolutely
It's
fantastic.
simple but effective, isn't it?
It
that
is,
style
and it's
of
one of
film?
those movies where, like, knock on the table. People do this in these sort of movies. Just knock on the table for me, Dave. Hello? In their house, they just answer straight away, and that means they're dead.
Yes.
And this film basically revolves around 4 snotty-nosed young punk American kids. You know, the guys who dress like Marky Mark and everything?
Hate them.
Anyway, they're just graduating high school. It's the 4th of July. Life is going well. Of course, bang, they run over someone in their car. What do? Do these kids, do they report it to the cops? Do they turn themselves in? No, Dave, they don't. They chuck their body in the ocean and they keep it to themselves. They make a pact. A pact. Never to mention the death. A year later, everything's going dandy. Everything's fine until one of them gets a note in the mail that says,
"I'm going to kill you."
No! No. It says, "I know what you did last summer."
So
you
it
see how that
ties in.
ties in?
That's
So the
brilliant.
whole tie-in. And obviously the studio said to him, look, Scream had a hook. Scream's hook was that it was a movie about kids who know about horror films and they were inside a horror film.
Yes.
They said to Kev, we need another hook like that one, a really good hook for the film. And so he thought,
Kev just
a hook.
gives them what they want.
That's the hook, though. The hook is a hook. In the film, the killer uses this big fishing hook
yes.
to just dice up these teenagers into, like, sushi, and it's great. That's the best. That's the thing. See, whereas Scream sent up all the cliches of horror films, the disappointing thing about I Know What You Did Last Summer is, instead of sending up the cliches of horror films, it just sticks to them. It just sticks to the usual things. So it's not as hip and as fun as Scream. If you go in there expecting the smart-assy Scream, you won't get it. But it's still fun to watch snotty-nosed young
Kids
punk
run over
American
people.
kids will get diced up by maniacs.
So if you run over someone,
It's
tell
like-
someone about it.
Yeah, do. Otherwise, the guy with the fishing hook. Every time
How many
you've seen
stars, boss?
90210, I no star ratings. It's just 3. All right, 3. All right. But I just wanted to mention before we go to a clip that it is still fun, whereas it's not as hip and as cool as Scream, it is still fun to watch these kids, these 90210 extras, get sliced up into sushi. So let's have a look at a scary bit that I picked, a really scary bit from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Don't do it! And you're going to have to see that film to find out what happens next. Did you say you want snotty-nosed middle American punk kids?
Getting killed.
No, this time they don't get killed. Suburbia. Not to
okay.
be confused with the 1983, I think.
Yeah, I saw that.
Penelope Spheris film.
Yep.
She's the girl who made Wayne's World. She made a film, a punk film called
Didn't
Suburbia.
she also do The Decline of Western Civilization
She
Part
did
2, The
that.
Metal Years?
It's unbelievable. And Part 1.
It's a great film.
Great film. And she also did Suburbia, another punk film, but then she moved on and did Wayne's World. But anyway, that film was called Suburbia, and this isn't that film. This is a different film called Suburbia by Richard Linklater, who you may know because he made Dazed and Confused. Everyone loves Dazed and Confused.
I haven't seen that.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I haven't seen
You're dazed and confused.
I am confused.
Dazed and Confused was a great film, and it was very sort of funny, and it was sort of that humorous, nostalgic look at the whole 70s thing. So I went along to this. This is the 90s, though. This film was what happens when someone like Billy Corgan gets his hands on the script from Clerks. He sucks out all the jokes, and instead of kids hanging around in front of a convenience store joking around, they hang around in front of a convenience store moping around. So the bad thing about this movie is that it's 2 hours of kids complaining. That's the bad thing.
I don't want to see that.
But the good thing, don't write it off yet. You're very quick to write off. The good thing about Suburbia is that the acting is absolutely impeccable. This is like unbelievable. Richard Linklater is like the man when it comes to directing teenagers. He's with them. And this film just flows so smoothly, and it's actually very realistic. There's a drunk kid in it, and he's the drunk kid you used to know back in high school.
Yep.
And there's a snotty kid, and there's a girl who's really ambitious, art school. It's very realistic and a very good film, and a fine soundtrack too. So let's have a look at Suburbia now. See how I convinced you?
Yeah, you turned me around.
You wrote it off.
I flip-flopped.
And then you came back.
Changed.
Dave, did you say you wanted to see snotty-nosed middle American kids getting eaten by demons?
I do want to see snotty-nosed middle American kids getting eaten by demons.
The Gate is the budget film today. It's a wonderful film. The dangers of playing heavy metal records backwards. Also interesting to see a young Stephen Dorff if you love him, but I'm getting the cutthroat sign, so it's time for me to go.
I think it's just not a hook, boss.
Yeah, the hook would be worse. The hook would be worse. I'll see you later.
Oh, thanks a lot, Lee. Okay. Now my close personal friends Cordrazine are playing an untitled song. It's yet to get a title. But here it is, untitled. Works in progress.
right down home. Goodbye, Mom, don't follow me now. Come rushing to this car, you know I'm leaving here this time. Oh, but dream a dream, but dreams must die. Oh, you took away what once was mine. Those who follow in your footsteps feel the pain of everything we've lost. Oh, I'm cold, but I won't ever let you fall. Take this time, but don't be late. I won't ever let you wait.
We're almost at the end of the run here, Tam, aren't we? Okay, thanks very much, Cordrazine. Thank you, Rebecca's Empire, Frenzal Rom, Diana Arnaid, Cordrazine, I've already thanked. Thanks again, Cordrazine.
Custard!
Tasty. Thank you, Frenzal Rom as well. And, oh, this is delicious. I love you all. Oh, no. Here, I'm never doing this show again.
Irresponsible on the 7th of December at the Hornet!
Thank you to these people. There you
Thanks
go.
to those people.
And what's on next week,
Dave.
Tam?
Next week we have Mola Corduroy, Love Me, and surf film director Tim Beniath and
He's real good.
Baby! Why is it still on me? Whoa! Oh yeah, the house band's going to play the song that someone faxed in. Yes! I forgot about that. House band.
going in that spot. Everybody thank Dave.